So today I will recreate the Facebook homepage. It will be my third homepage which I've recreated. The other two are Google and DuckDuckGo, which you can also watch if you want. I've linked them both in the description. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is recreate this blue bar at the top. So for that I will first add the title Facebook, so I know what this website is about. Then I will create a div with the ID container where all of my content will be inside of, and inside this container I will create a navbar div with the ID navbar, which is this blue navigation bar with the login and logo. So the first thing we need to do is recreate this. I don't really know. I think this is an image, but I will recreate it with a font. So I will first use the h1 tag and I will name it logo, and I will just type in Facebook. Alright. If I reload it now, we have this, which looks pretty good, and we also need this, all of this. So I will create a p tag with the ID email label, which is for the label, of course, and I will just type in email or phone, and at the end of it I will add a input type, a input field with the type text and ID email. Alright, and right behind that I will create the exact same thing, but for the password label. We'll just type in password and type in another input field with the type text and the ID password. So and we also need this button, which we will just add to the end of all of this with the ID login btn login, and now we should have, yes, looks almost like this but without the styling. And we also need the forgot button, the forgot account button, which we will just create with a p tag again, forgot account, and this is our navbar for now. I mean, actually we could just set this to an a tag, set the href to nothing because it's just a recreation, and so we have this link thing. Alright, so now we will style all of this. Alright, for this we will go into our style CSS file, set the HTML to height 100%, then we will get the body, set the height also to 100% and the margin to 0 auto, and we will remove the scroll bar, so we have the perfect size. I don't know if it's the right way to do this, but I've just done it and it worked, so I will just keep it. Then we will set the container also to 100% height. And now we can start with the navigation bar. So navbar, I will just add a comment so I know where the navbar starts. Alright, so hashtag navbar. Yes, we named it navbar. We'll set the background color to the same blue as they have. We can do it with the developer console. Press on this or here, and we should see the color, which is this one. It's not really the same one, but because they actually have like a gradient, so we will just use 3B5998, and this will look a little bit more like it. Yes, this looks exactly like it. Alright, and we will also set the display to grid and create a grid template column. We will need, so I've set it with 15 columns. We can see how this looks. Repeat 15 1FR, and now we should have 15 columns for this. Yes, as you can see, it's a bit hard to see, but you can see here's the first, second, third, and so on. And we can also set the rows. I mean, we need to set the rows. I mean, you probably don't need to, but it will be easier. So we'll just set them to 28.3 pixels. And we will have 3 rows. And if you can see, it's almost the same height. Alright, so now we will add a grid template area, and we will need 3 of those. And now we can actually create the yes, the positioning for everything. So first we will need the logo, we need the email label, we need the email input field, we need the password label, we need the password input field, and we need the forgot button and the login button, right? Navbar, logo, email label, email, password label, password, login button, forgot. Alright. And then we can just hold Alt and press on every line, so we can choose, so we can save a bit of time. Type everywhere grid area, and yeah, this will be it for now. So the first, I always just use the same name which I used for the IDs, so just type in your ID as the grid area, password, forgot, and login button. Okay, and now we can, oh wait, first. First I will add the font that we need for the Facebook logo. Font family, which is Titanium Web. Titanium Web. Sans serif. And we can first look at it. And it looks like this because we haven't actually set any grid areas. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on rows, and I mean cells. I would call them cells. And now we need to position the Facebook logo exactly at the position where the original one is. So this would be the first, second, third, the fourth maybe. Yeah, I mean this works. So we will put in 1 dot, 2, 3, 4 dots for the empty cell. A dot represents just an empty cell, as you can see in a second. Then you will just type in the grid area name we typed in for the logo. And after that we have a bit more space. I don't know how much this would be, how many empty cells, but I will just type in 3. You can copy this exact same thing on the other 3, and if we refresh it now, you can see we have our Facebook logo. So now we also need to set the font size to 46 pixels, so it's the right size. Yeah, this looks right. Also set the color to white, and there we are. Alright, now we need to position all of these things. So the first thing is the email label and the password label, which will be in the top row, and after that there will be nothing, so we can just type in ... and in the second row we will add the email input field, the password input field, and also the login button. And at the bottom we can actually set one more space, type in add the forgot button, and add two empty rows, and here we can actually set another empty row, and now it looks like this. It looks pretty close. We also need to set the margin at the bottom to have 15 pixels. No, why not? Oh right, and align self to center. Yes, now, wow, this looks pretty good. I mean, it's, of course it's not the same font and not at the same position, but I mean, it's I'm just practicing, you know, so it doesn't have to be pixel perfect or anything. It should just represent this, and at first glance you might have guessed that it's the real site. I mean, not now obviously, but later. Alright, so now we can position all of this so this will look good. So the first thing we will do is set the font size to 12 pixels, set the color to white, and change the font family to Arial. So now it looks like this. We can copy all of this and add it to the password label. Alright, so now we have this, which looks already pretty close, if you ask me. Alright, so now we can set the email field to have a height of 18 pixels and the width to be 150 pixels. So it's a bit smaller, just like on the real Facebook website. We also need to set the border. As you can see, it has like a blue active outline and a on hover black outline, but on Facebook it's always a black outline. So we will add a border, 1 pixel, solid and black. And now we have the exact same style as there. Alright. But as you can see, the input field and the input field is not in the center of the grid. It's at the top. So I actually want it to be at the end or at the bottom of the cell, and we can do this by typing in align self and now it's there, which looks better than which looks almost the same as there. And now I actually see that the height is a bit more than 18 pixels, maybe 20. Yeah, this looks closer, I think. Alright, just do the same at the password. And now we have almost the exact same style as on the real website. Alright, but first yes, first we need to actually set the margin in between these, and we do this by setting the margin right to 15 pixels, so we have a little bit of space. And for the password we can do the exact same thing, margin right 15 pixels, and now we have this, which looks, yeah, this looks pretty good in my opinion. Yes, alright. So we have the height, the width, the border. We can also justify the self to center, so it will be in the, yeah, this doesn't change anything, so we can just remove it. Yes, alright, okay. Now we can style the login button. We will give it a height of 22 pixels, a width of 50 pixels. We will set the background color to #4267b2. Change the font color to white, and we will look at it, and it looks like this, which of course doesn't look like the actual thing. We can set the border style to none, so now it looks like this. We actually need to set the border also to 1 pixel solid and 29487D. Set the font weight to bold, and now it looks like this. It still doesn't fit inside there. That's because the font size is actually a little bit smaller. Or I can just remove the padding. Oh, not none, maybe 0. Yes, now it fits. But I also think the font size is not the same. Align self and now it's on the same size, and font size 16 pixels maybe. Oh no, not maybe 16, maybe 10. No, maybe 12. Yeah, I will just keep it at 12. Alright, and now the forgot. Text decoration none, so we remove the underline. And what is the color here? The color is, I have no idea. It looks like this one. Color. I think it's this one. No, it's also not this one. I will just keep it this one for the first few moments. I also set the font family to Arial and the font size to 12 pixels. Oh wait, I actually got the color. 9CB48. We also need to align self-center. And now it looks pretty good in my opinion. Alright, so next thing is the main area. So all of this stuff, and this will be the footer. Alright, so I will create a new div with the ID main for the main content. And now I will first create an h1 text for this one. So h1 with the ID header text, and it says connect with friends and the world around you on Facebook. Great. I will actually first set the grid. So we'll create a new comment for our main content, so we know where all of it is. And now we will access our main div, set the height to 100%. The display will be grid. The grid template columns, I mean, we need 4 columns, right? The first one is an empty one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one where nothing is. So I will just set the first one at 450 pixels, the second one 550, the third at 430 pixels, and the fourth at 500 pixels. And I'm just doing it this fast because I already have the whole site, and I'm just kind of copying it and explaining it. So don't worry if you will if you want to recreate a website and can't do it this fast or anything. I'm just copying. So, and I know the sizes because these are the one I used in the finished site. If you watch my other videos about Google and DuckDuckGo, I actually coded it live, and you can just tell me in the comments down below if you like it this way more, where I have the site already finished and just copy everything and explain more, or you want me to struggle and actually see how I come up with all the grid sizes and all of this stuff, and you know, just live coding. Just write it down in the comments below and I would be really thankful for that. Alright, so these are the 4 column sizes. The rows will be repeat 12 times for one FR, and we will set the last row to auto. So if we look at this row, you will see, at this grid I mean, you will see we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 4 rows. So the first thing we need to do is get this text inside here and have it have a little bit of space. You could also have just one empty cell above here and set it in the second one, but as you can see here we have another text and which is above, and if we have one empty cell, row, you can actually put it just there, I don't care, but I will just do it this way. So also create a grid template area, and we will need 4 of these. And we will first do the left side, so all of which is here, and we will create all of this now. Alright, so we have the header, and now we need the image. The images are this. I already have them in my folder, which is here. Oh no, it's not actually here, it's here. As you can see, I have all of them here, and the plus button is for this button. So the first image source will be image in the folder image, and its name is first.png. The ID will be first image. I will actually create a class for this with the class FB icons. And yes, we will also wait a second. Okay, I got it. So we'll first create all of these three images. I can just fucking copy it. So second and third image and second image. Alright, we also need to add a p tag for the paragraph behind this, and this p tag will have the ID first text, and the class will be text styling. Alright, I will just first copy all of this, second and third. Inside this p tag we will actually create a b tag for bold, because the first few words are in bold text. And inside this b tag we will type in C photos and updates, and behind the b tag we will first set a space and type in from friends in news feed. If we refresh the site, you can see we have the three pictures and the paragraph with the first 4 words as bold. And we actually also need to set a styling for the b tag. I will just do it inline because I can. Set the font size to 16 pixels because the bold text is a bit bigger than the other text. And this didn't really work, I think. I guess, I don't know, but let's just keep going. So we'll copy all of this and just change the text. So share what's new and in your life on your timeline. Find more of what you are looking for with Facebook search. Save everything, and now we have this. This looks, of course, really retarded, but trust me, it will look just exactly like the original Facebook site. Alright, now we will style this so it looks like this. So go over to your style.css and and yes, first we need the header text. We also need the first image, the first text, the second image, second text, third image, third text. We also have just a normal styling for we have a text styling for, we created a class which is called text styling, so we don't need to retype everything for every ID as we did here. For example, I could just create a class which all have the font family area, the text decoration is none, the font size, blah blah. You could do this easier, but I just did it this way. Don't ask me why. So this is the styling, text, and the image and paragraphs. So now we need for everything a grid area. As you can see, the grid area will be header text, first image, first text, second image, second text, third image, and third text. Okay, we can also set the text. No, wait, first we will set the positioning. So we will do this with these areas. So the first one will be header text, and we will create an empty one and an empty one. In the second row will be the first image, second one. The third row will be the second image, empty, empty, and empty, third image, empty, empty. Save everything, refresh your site, and as you can see, it now looks like this. Alright, so I could have actually put the text also in here, but this will be it will be later really weird when we have to style all of this, because we will actually need to put all of them in here, and it will be really weird, and I don't know how to fix it, and that's why I just did it this way. So you don't actually need the grid area text, but you can also set it. You can also set the position inside the grid area like this. So it starts with the first column, then I want to position it in the first column. As you can see, it says, oh, it starts with the row. So the first grid row start will be 2. It will start in the second row. The grid column starts, so the column at which this element will be positioned at will be 2. And the end row will be also 2. And the end column will be 3. As you can see, we have it here. So second row, second column, it starts at the second column, second row, and ends at the second column and second row. But I don't know if you can actually say you wanted to stop at this. Yeah, this works also. So you can just type in 2, 2, 2, 2. So the second text will be, will start in the third row, because this one is here, right? The second text will start here and the third will here. So row 3, column will be the same. It will still be the same, and column can actually stay at 2. No, it can't stay at 2. Second text. Let's just start. Just go on with the third one. Grid area is 4, 2, 4, 3. I will just set it everywhere to 3. I don't know if it's important or anything, but doesn't really work. What am I doing wrong? This is really weird. Alright, we will set the text styling first. Font family, Arial. Font size 14 pixels. Align self center. Alright, so now we have it a little bit bigger. Also, we need to set the margin to 0, 0, 20 pixels and 70 pixels. So it's actually next to the image, as you can see. And we also margin bottom 20 pixels. Yes, so now it's centered and it has a little bit more space. All right. I actually need to find out the background color. Why do they have it this weird? Okay, I will just keep it white for now. I don't care. So the header text will be font size 28 pixels. The font family, Arial, of course. Margin. Wait, we can just save it now. And as you can see, the text looks almost the same. Of course, it's another font. 50 pixels and margin bottom 50 pixels. So now we have this, which is almost, as you can see, it doesn't have the same line breaking, but we can actually just edit here BR, and now it looks the same. All right. So the next thing we need to do is I actually don't know why the positioning doesn't work. As you can see, the text is actually there, but why doesn't it show up there? Really weird, my friends, really weird. So I have the header text. I have the text styling. I have the icons. Maybe I forgot something. Oh, I'm fucking retarded. Yes, now we have it. Because I copied the first p tag, it already created the closing p tag, and I've just added the text behind the closing p tag. So that's why it didn't work. But now it does. And as you can see, it does look pretty close, right? Alright, so we are finished with the left side, and now we will start the right side. And for this I will also create another divider, I can call it, I guess, and just type in right side so I know what I'm working on. So what we now need, I will just add a little space. What we now need is the sign up text with the it's quick and easy, 4 input fields, the birthday, and these radio buttons. Oh, okay. And this text, the sign up, and this one. Alright, so let's start. So first we need an h1 tag again with the ID sign up, and the text will be sign up. Then we will create an h2 tag with the ID sign up, and I will just call it sub for subheading, you know, and I would say it's quick and easy. And now we need these input fields, so let me just create them fast. Input ID will be first input, and we'll also create a class for input style name. This is for the first and last name because they're not the same size as this one, so I can just style both of them with one class. The type will be text, and we will also add a placeholder with the text first name. Alright, now we have an input field with first name, which is fucking huge. And we also need to create the same thing, but for the second input. Second input style name, it will be the same for the class, and last name. Now we also need the input field for the mobile number or email and the password. So create another input field with the ID, third input. I will just use a number for all of them, and I will create a class for input style. Type will be also text, and placeholder will be mobile number or email. And another input field with the ID fourth input. Class will be also the same, input style, type will be text, placeholder will be new password. So save everything, and there we have them. So I'll just first style all of this, and then we will start with the second part. Alright, so first we have the sign up. So sign up, create a grid area with the name sign up. The font family will be Arial, of course. Font size will be 36 pixels, and then we'll create a sign up subheader. The grid area will actually be a positioning, not a name. The font family will of course be also Arial Helvetica. Font size will be a little bit smaller, 22 pixels. Font weight will be normal. And let's see. It's quick and easy. The sign up is gone because we didn't say where it should be positioned. It will be positioned here, exactly the same way as this one is positioned. And for this area we will just type in the position. It will be in the same cell as here. That's why I can't just type in, I mean it should be also here, but I can't. So I will just say first row, so it will start at the first row, the 1 to 3rd column, second row, and also third column. So, and it's there. And now we can just position it with margin top 65 pixels, for example, and it will be perfectly beneath it. I mean, here's a little bit more space, but this is just, you know, if you really want to recreate it pixel for pixel, you can do it, but I will just do it to just learn it a little bit better. Alright, and as you can see, the margin is actually kinda right, but I will still add a margin top of 20 pixels. Oh yeah, it's a little bit better now, I guess. Alright, now we can now we need the classes for input style name and the class for the normal input style. And beneath that we will create the first input, second input, third input, and fourth input. And just select everything at the grid area, and that's it. So the first input will just have the normal name first input, and all of the other ones I need to style. So the first input will appear here, and if we just refresh it, you can see first name, which is here, but we need to style it and position it inside the other cell with margin bottom or top or anything. You will see in a second. So first name, first input. Then we will create the second input. We will do this with the positioning shorthand. So it will be right also in this cell. So second row, third column. Second row, third column. We will stay in the second row and we will stay in the third column. We won't go over to the fourth one. So as you can see now, it says last name because last name is above the first one. The last input field is above the first one, as you can see here. First input and second input. It's all in the same spot. So we will style all of this now with the class. The class height or the input field height will be 38 pixels. The width will be 200 pixels. Just refresh it now and you can see it's a better height now. The margin minus top will be minus 50 pixels. So it's in this cell, as you can see. And now we can set the font size inside the input field, the placeholder, to 22 pixels. Oh no, I mean to 18 pixels. Set the border radius to 5 pixels and the border to 1 pixel, solid and RGBA. It's actually same as Facebook uses, I think. 119, 201 and 0527. So if you save everything now and look at it, it looks like this, which is pretty close in my opinion. As you can see, the first input field is still behind the second one, and we can do we can change it by setting a margin left of 220 pixels inside the second input field, just like this. So we have first name, last name. As you can also see, they have a little bit more spacing. We can just add the spacing by setting 2 spaces inside the placeholder, save it, and it's now like this. Alright, so we've styled the first 2 input fields. Now we need the other 2. So the grid area first. So we want it to be in the second row. So we can just type in second row. It starts at the third column, right? Third column, second row. Third column, second row. We stay at the second and stay at the third. And we can actually just copy this, type it in here, but this but the fourth one will be in the third row. So third and third. If we save everything, you can see we have it exactly like on the original Facebook site. Alright. And we also need to style everything. We do this with our class. We'll set the height to 38 pixels. And the width also to 200 pixels. Wait a second. Oh, no. The width will be 420 pixels because it has to be the same size as both of them. And we will set the font size to 18 pixels. And we will just copy all of this, save everything, and now we have this. But as you can see, there's a little bit too much space. This password input field actually needs to be below the mobile number one and inside this cell. And we can also just do this with the margin top minus 25 pixels. And now it looks like this. If we remove the grid, you can see it looks pretty good. We also can set the 2 spaces here, so it will look a little bit better and not so cramped in. And now we will create all of this. So I will again leave a little bit of space so you know where we are. And we will now create the birthday. This will be a little bit weird because I haven't found a better solution for the way I do it now. You will see in a second what I mean. Birthday, and we will create it with the select element. Select name month, ID month, and class will be birthday. So now we have a select field, and I will just copy it because this select field has options. As you can see, I can just show you it here, I think. Yes, this is the field. Just like here, the field. We just need to style it and it looks exactly like this. And we will do the same for the days and the year. So we do this by just beneath the closing select tag, create another select element with the name day. Yeah, with the name day, the ID day, and the class again, birthday. And inside here we will just add 31 options for 31 days, of course. And beneath that you will create another select field with the name year for the year, ID year, and class birthday. And inside here we will just get like 100 options from 1900 to 2028 or 29. Actually, it's 230. And this should actually just look like this, but I will just keep it this way. And here we have the select field, the ending select field. Alright, so first I want to style this. So we will go back to our style sheet. Create, I'll just use the class what am I doing? Use the class birthday, which we created inside the select elements. Set the height to 30 pixel, the width to 55 pixel, and the margin top to 70 pixels. You will see in a second what this does. Yes, okay. First I want to create the positioning for our label. We do this by typing in grid area as we did before, and I want the area to be right beneath this password field. So open the grid, and I want it in this cell, so the third row and third column. So grid area will be 3, 3, 3, and 3, just like above. So save it, and we have it in here, which of course now everything is a bit fucked because of this field, but we will change it in a second, don't worry. And this B-Day label will have a... Alright, first, wait a second. Have I forgotten something? No. Alright. The B-Day label. So then we will add the month, day, and year. 1, 2, 3. Grid area. And for the month, you will set the grid area to 3, 3, 3, 3. You will actually just set it everywhere to 3, because they will all be in the same row, as you can see. And the day will have a... No, wait. First we will... Exactly. Why is this one this big? I think I've forgot something. Yeah, see, I forgot something. The age. Now it looks right. So first we need to set the birthday label a little bit more below. So the birthday label will have a margin top of 40 pixels. Yes, as you can see, it's almost the same size. And we'll set the font family to Arial, as we did the same with all of our font families. Set the font weight to bold, the color to 90949C, and the font size to 18 pixels. So save everything, and as you can see, it looks like this color. Alright, now we need to set it so they're right next to each other. We do this by just setting a margin of left 45 pixels and just the same but twice the amount, so 108. And you can see we have all of this. I don't know why it's opening to the top, but let's just keep it this way. Alright, so now we have all of this finished. It was because of the developer console. If we just try to check if it's the same, it does look pretty good in my opinion. Of course, as I said, it's not perfect, but you get it. We're just trying out CSS Grid, Flexbox. I mean, we didn't use any Flexbox yet, and just styling in general. So it's just for exercising. Alright, the next thing will be the gender, this text, the sign up, and the create page for celebrity, band, or business. Alright, so we will go back to our HTML file, go below all of our select thing elements, and then we will create a label with the ID gender label and type in gender. Then we will need 3 radio fields. We do this by typing in input ID male for the male input field. Set the class to radio style so we can style everything at once. The type needs to be radio now. And we also need to set the name to gender. And the value needs to be male. If we save it, we will have a gender and a male in radio button. Alright. And we also need to set a label for our male input field. This label will have the ID M label and the class also radio style male, and the label will be male. You can just copy all of this, paste it 3 times, set the ID to female and other. This can also be the same. This needs to be female and this needs to be other. Also female, other, F label and O label. Yes, and also change the label to female and other. Alright, now we have these gender labels, and the explanation why we need the name and value thing is because if we wouldn't add it, you could just choose 3 at once, and now it's like this, so we can just choose 1 for our gender, and then we will position it below our birthday. So we will switch over to our style.css. Access our gender label first and set the grid area to, we want it to be, alright, so we want to set the grid to be below our birthday, so in the 4th row and 3rd column. So just type in 4 for the row, 3rd column. We will stay at the 4th row and we will stay at the 3rd column. The grid label will also have a font family, again Arial. The font weight will be bold, and the color will be this grayish 90949C. We'll set the font size also to 18 pixels, and we look at it and it's perfectly there. We just now need to set the margin top to be 15 pixels, and if you watch now, it's perfect. So now we need to set the styling for our radio buttons. Radio style. We'll set the margin to top 45 pixels. The font family, you guessed it right, Arial, and font size 18 pixels. Alright, now we will set the style for our genders and the radio buttons. So we will first get all of our IDs inside here. So we have the male ID, the M label ID, the female F label, the other, and the O label. Alright, zack, 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 zack. Grid area. And we will set the grid area to be in the 4th row and 3rd column again. So just type in 4, 4, 3, 4, 3. And this will be the same for everything because it's all in the same row. Alright, so save it, and now you can see we have all of them in one field just overlapping. Alright, so what we do now is just style it with the margins. So the margin label will have a margin, the male label will have a margin left 25 pixels. Yes, the female will have the female radio button will have a margin left of 100 pixels. The female label will have 120 pixels. And the other input field will have a margin left of 220 pixels, and the label will have a margin left of 240 pixels. And now it should look a little bit better. Alright, now you can see the buttons are a bit weird, and I don't actually know why this is the case. Radio style. Why does it have? What if I just set the width to 50 pixels? Does this work? Oh, okay. Yeah, now you can see it looks a little bit better, but it's still not right. I wonder why. Label. What if I set it to 0 pixels? Oh, okay, great. Yep, now it looks almost the same. We should just set the margin bottom to have maybe 10 pixels. Yeah, so it's next to this. I know here it's a bit retarded, like at the top. I think this looks better. And I've also chosen male to be first, I don't know why. But it works. So now we can recreate this little text here. And we do this by just creating a p tag with the ID. This is like the terms of service, right? Kinda, yeah, terms. So we'll just call it TOS. And I will just copy the text from my finished site, and I will explain it to you. Yes, like this. Bruh. Alright, so you can see we have the same text. By clicking up, you agree to our terms. By clicking up, you agree to our, and then I have an href for the link, for the terms link. So we have also a link which is clickable, and I also have a line break, so it's exactly the same word. It broke at the exact same word as the other, as the real website. So just save it, and it's not here because I haven't positioned it anywhere. But we can also first create the sign up button, which we do by just adding a button with the ID sign up btn, and inside it we have the text sign up, and we also create this thing, which is just a p tag with the ID. I will just type in below sign up so I know where this actually is, and I will also just copy it from my finished site. So we have an href, create a page for the link, create a page for celebrity, blah blah blah, and now we are finished. Now we can just add the footer, but first we will style it. We will style the text and the sign up and the thing below the sign up. So change over to your style.css and scroll down, access your ID TOS, set the font size to 12 pixels. Well, first we will create the grid area again. Do I still need to explain it? I guess you understood it, right? But for the last time, we want the grid to be, we want the text to start here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th row and the 3rd column. So we'll start with the 5th row, 3rd column, 5th row, and we will stay in the 3rd column. Save it, and here we have the text. So also change the font family to exactly, you guessed it, Arial, and change the color to #777, so it's a gray, and there we have it. Look at it, it looks almost the same. It's a little bit more pressed together, I guess you could say, but for our purposes it's more than enough. So we will just copy this one, set a tag behind so we can style the a tags, because as you can see, they're just they look as if you've already clicked on them. They always have the underline, and I don't want that. So set the text decoration to none, and set the color to #385898. And now it looks exactly like theirs. They also have this hover effect that if you hover on it, there comes a underline appears. Sorry, if you hover over it, a underline appears, and which we'll create later. So wait for a second. Now we will style the sign up button. We'll do it. We will create the height. We will set the height to 40 pixels, the width to 200 pixels. The grid area will be the 6th row, and exactly all of it will be the same. So 3, 5, 3, 6, sorry. Font family, again, Arial. I could have just created one class for font and just set everything to font family, so I wouldn't have to rewrite it in for every ID. Just keep that in mind. For the next website, I will keep that also in mind and do that. The font size, the font size will be 22 pixels. Color will be white. And now save it. Sorry, save it. Fuck. Now save it, and there we have the button, which is of course the wrong color, but we will set the border radius to 5 pixels, the border to 1 pixel solid black, and we will set the background to have a linear gradient of this green color, because as you can see it's getting darker to the bottom, and we can recreate it like this. It looks almost the same. I know it's not the same, but you know what I said, right? It's not supposed to be the same. But yes, we are finished with this now. Now we can style the below sign up thing, and this will have the grid area of 7 because it's one row below the last one. 7 3. Font family, yes, you guessed it. I will never make this mistake again. And this is what it's all about, you know? You make mistakes, it's okay. Don't worry, man. Of course the site is retarded. Of course it's not perfectly coded, but I'm practicing, you know? And I'm trying to help other people by recording it. I don't know how much of a help I am, but I'm trying my best, okay? So 1 pixel solid RGBA, 128, 128, 128, 0.363. Save it, and we have this. Yes, we also set the border top, so you can see we actually have this little line. But we also set the padding top to have 15 pixels, so the line is not exactly above the text. And now we will set the margin top to have -5 pixels, so it's a bit more below the sign up button. And we also need to style the A tag, and you can just copy all of this, bada bang, and it looks great. See? Perfect. Okay. Now we need the footer. So create a comment for separation, footer, separation, and suck. Alright, now we want to recreate all of this. And we can do this by just switching over to our HTML tag, creating a new div with the ID footer. We're still in the container div, you know, so don't switch it up. We're still in this div, as you can see. And inside this div, we will create a p tag, and I just will copy it for all of the languages and also the button. So first you can see I've just copied the English US, as you can see here, English US, Deutsch, Turk, Polski, and I've just created and I've just wrapped them all inside an A tag, so it's a link. It's an actual link. You can change it to Deutsch and have the German version. So, and I've also added a spacing between everything, so we also have the spacing. You can see it now, but we have the spacing. And at the end I've also created a button inside, it's still inside the p tag, for this button. So let's first let's first style this. So save it, and type in hashtag footer or the ID that you've chosen. The grid area will be will now be this one, I think. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yes, we will just choose the 8th one. So start at row 8, but now we'll start at the second row, column I mean. We will stay in the 8th row, and it will span from the second column to the second, I'm sorry, we have 4 cells, right? 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, and our footer will span from this column to this. So it will span from column 2 to column 4. You need to set the last one. So I will just show you. For example, I will set 3 because you know, second to third, but it will look like this. If we set it to 4, it will span all the way to this one. Alright. And as you can see, I will just keep it open, I'm sorry. As you can see, it is now in the center of the row, but we want it to be at the bottom. So set the align self to end, font size 13 pixels, font family, you guessed it, man, and there we have it. It now looks like this. It's almost the same size, and it looks pretty good, I guess. We can also set the margin bottom to have -7 pixels, and we will also set the border bottom to this, so we have this little line just exactly like here, but the spacing is a bit too much, so you can just say padding bottom -7 pixels, and it just won't work. Great. Alright, I don't know why this margin bottom 7 is there, but I will just keep it for now. And now we will create all of these links. So we will go to our index file again, create another div for footer 2, yes, I will just call it footer 2, and I will just also copy it because this will just take way too long. Come on, okay. And there we have it. So we have all of these links, all of these texts just in an aref. We just have all of these texts, just like this one here, wrapped in an ahref tag. So it's an actual link. Alright. And below this one, we can actually create a p tag for the Facebook copywriting ID copyright. Alright, so we're finished with the HTML file, but we also need to style all of this now. So go back to style file, style CSS file, create the footer for the create the styling for the second footer. Also we can just say footer A and copy all of this, set the text decoration to none, the color to blue, and the margin left to have a little bit more spacing, you see. So every little single aref, which are these one, has a margin left of 5 pixels. So everywhere is a margin of 5 pixels here, so it appears to be more space. Okay, and we also can style the plus button to have a width of 30 pixels and a margin left also of 5 pixels, so it's a bit more to the right. Yes, look, it's almost the same, right? And now we can style the second footer. So set the text decoration to none. Oh, no, this is for something else. The grid area will be 9, start at the 9th row, second column, stay in the 9th row, and span to the 4th column. Align self to start, so it's not here, but a little bit more at the top. And now we can style the A tags. Footer to A, to access all of the A tags inside our footer class. So all of these things. And set the text decoration to none. The color will also be this one. Sorry. It will also have a margin left of 5. Font family, font size will probably also be the same, yes. And you can save it, and now we have this. Looks good, right? I think so. Alright, and last but not least, the copyright. Grid area 10 row, 2, 10, and 4. We don't actually need to set it to 4, I guess. Font family, again this one. Font size will be 11, and the color will be this weird color, I don't know. And now we can set, so as you can see, all of these have also this on hover underline thing. So we can just type in container, so we will select our whole container where everything is in, set A and hover the pseudo class and set the text decoration to underline. Save it, and now you can see when I just hover over the it doesn't work. Why? Container. Weird. No, it's, I guess I didn't refresh the page. But now you can see we have all of these underlines, and if you just look at it right now, you can't tell me you would have thought that this isn't the real Facebook site, right? I mean, look at this. You can just type in this shit and I don't know, it looks exactly like the Facebook page. Almost identical. If I would tell my friend, yo, log into Facebook, he would just type in his blah blah email address and wonder why it doesn't work and why this is there. But yeah, I guess we're finished now. Thanks for watching. This took really long to make and to record, but yes, thanks for watching. If you want to see how I recreated Google and or DuckDuckGo, I will leave a link in the description, and next week I will recreate another website. I will recreate a website every week, so I will be a fucking master at the end of the year. Alright, thanks for watching. See you later.